Hey guys, welcome back, and this is my third sketchbook story time. And if you haven't checked out my second sketchbook story time, you will see in the left top corner that some teal color and some flowers are there. That is the drawing which I did for my second sketchbook story time. So please go check it out. The link will be in the description and also in the end of the video. Please keep watching, and the things I used will be given on the screen in some point of time. Yep. And today's drawing's inspiration came from. So as I told you before, I am just drawing boys, a bunch of flowers, and I can't draw a bunch of hands, so I'm just drawing two. So that's what I wanted to tell, and let's jump into the story. I don't know how you people get to know who is toxic and who is not, because back then I was like stupid and naive. Today I'm gonna get into a small story about my best friend who was really toxic. I don't even know how she became my best friend because she was like damn toxic. This might be stupid for you people, but it was really sad for me. I used to cry coming home every time because she did that to me. So I was in 6th grade and I was 11 years old. That time, I loved everything sparkly, everything pink, like a small girl. I loved anything colorful. And she had a set of 40 color pens, PENS, pens. Okay, so I was in love with any sort of stationery, so I freaking loved her color pens, and until now I haven't used them once also, because she used to threaten me like if you use them you gotta do a chore of mine, like you have to complete my English homework or math homework, or you're gonna do my science project. She used to threaten me like that, and I used to obey obediently, loyally. I mean, she used to make me bodyguard those pens for her, and if I even touched them, she used to punish me, like come and hit me, or oh my god. Now that I look back at it, I'm so pissed off. I didn't speak up for myself. So what happened is, in front of us, they were mean girls sitting in front of us, and I so badly wanted to get into their group because they were mean. They were cool, in my opinion, not mean, cool. Because I'm stupid. Anyways, they used to rebel against teachers, raise voice against teachers. They used to bunk classes. They used to not complete their homeworks. They used to not like fail their exams or tests. They used to get average marks, like out of 40 they used to get some 29, 25. So they were exactly the type I wanted to be. Like, they used to punch boys, and like in our school, talking to boys only is a big deal, so punching them and fighting with them and playing with them and all is like very great for me. So that is one of the main reasons. Like, talking to boys was a thing I was desperate about that time, so I wanted to so badly get into their group. And she and two mean girls, like this Sadie, let's call my partner Sadie, and these two mean girls were my key to get into that filthy group. And I mean, only these two guys were mean in that whole group. Other all were like some like chill type cool people. Others were not that filthy, except for these two and Sadie. They used to force me into bunking sometimes, but by God's grace I never bunked with them. We have a term called mass bunking in our class. Like, whenever art period comes, people in our class mass bunk, and if the art teacher asks where they all are, we'll be like, we won't tell anything. We'll be like, we don't know ma'am, probably they went for running errands for teachers, is what we would tell. In the real case, they would just be hanging out in the park or the ground. I mean, I never went to those mass bunking occasions because most of the times I'm too lazy to get up. I didn't want to lift my butt up off my seat. So she used to make me bodyguard those pens, and as I said, it used to make me cry like for hours. I used to come home and cry, but my parents never noticed because I would have done that in secret. And what happened is, this was the worst thing that happened for a 11-year-old kid. I was 11 years, but still I was a kid, right? And my heart was so naive back then, and I never had any friends that time because I just moved into that school in 5th grade, and from 5th grade to 6th grade our sections get shuffled. So in 6th grade I didn't know anyone, and I was so desperate to get friends, and that's why I guess I had to become friends with these people. I mean, I sat with her just for like 2 months, but still she made a big influence on me. After that I didn't want to become friends with her, but fate rejoined us in 9th grade, but that story is for another time. I don't know how to explain that she's toxic. She's really toxic, trust me when I say that she's toxic, because she used to treat me differently. Like, everyone else in the class had permission to touch her pens except for me. I hold grudges against all of those, even though I never mentioned it to her. But I did spoil her reputation in the class. That's more than enough, because other than me, no one else used to speak to her. That's a bigger problem. It looks like a person trying to cut off relations of another person, so that person only speaks to the person A and no one else. That sounds really bad, but I don't know why, but I did spoil her reputation, and I don't feel bad for it because she deserves it. Actually, people already hated her because there were many failures in our class, but she was a total new extension to failure, because being aside from a failure, she used to be mean to everyone. And I can't say anything else except for the fact that her teeth looked like she never cleaned them, never brushed them, because 24/7 she used to give up her food to me. I was a foodie, so I used to eat it. Not that she was my friend and that's why I had to accept it and eat it, but food I give respect because her mom made it and not she. I ate it, but she used to eat, instead of the food, she used to always eat like chocolates, like big bars of chocolates, like Dairy Milk Silk, Dairy Milk Bubbly, all were 180 rupees ones, like the big ones, for her lunch meals. It's really strange. Oh my god, I hate it. The fact that she used to use me in that way and try to misjudge her mom. Like, her mom didn't know that I was the person eating it, and if you notice shaking on the screen, that was because I applied too much pressure, and that caused the screen to shake. Anyways, that's not the point. She was toxic because there are many others. She used to always hang out with bad groups, like elder bhaiyas and didis and such, in the sense like seniors. She used to hang out with the bad gang, like the failed people. I don't judge people by their education, but still, like, those people failed because of bad reasons, right? And she used to hang out with the bad gang always, like the ones who bully others and all that stuff. Bullying was strictly prohibited in our school, but it always secretly happens, and it's not like everyone opens up to the teacher. So I won't force them either, but man, you should stand up for yourself. This is a tough world. I'm not as naive as I was back then. I'm still, in a position where I can't say no to anything. I compromise a lot with others. I'm trying to fix that attitude, but I'm sure it'll never get fixed anyway, because my uncle also keeps nagging and yelling at me that I compromise with everything, because most of the times that is one of the reasons I made friends with her, because I could never say no. And like, she used to have a lot of boyfriends in the age of 11, and no one can stop that and all, but still, these are some things which define toxic in my head, like doing bad things to other people, like being mean to everyone and bullying everyone, being mean to others, and etc. And that's it. That's the sketchbook story time 3. I'll come back with a new one. Bye.